Welcome to another episode of the Dial Spot. In this episode, we're going to be going through how to build this Freddy Krueger diorama. This is the Freddy Krueger furnace scene. So make sure you guys stay tuned to catch all the little details and how to build this beautiful piece right here of A Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger diorama. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of the Dial Spot. In this episode, we're going to be putting together the diorama for this action figure. So we're going to get to this one. And before we get to it, you know the collection dimension with the Dial Spot brings you everything from comic book, action figure unboxings, statue unboxings, dioramas, anything that has to do with collectibles. So make sure you guys hit that little red subscribe button at the bottom, and where this is already displayed underneath my bad boy Freddy head, looking to the eyes of evil. So let's get to this one and go step by step. I made 4 videos for you guys. There's the whole video of how to put it all together, and then I broke it down into 3 15-minute videos. So let's get to the furnace scene. So first I have the base of the diorama that I cut out to the size that I want, and the size that I wanted was, here, see the numbers this way. Let's see that I like using the clear one. It's really easy for it. So 14 by 11. So 14 by 11. And it's going to be going this way, so this is going to be the front for me. If it makes it easier for you guys, sometimes you could put front here because you're going to be painting over it anyways. I like to use a marker type, so I might just want to put like F right there. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't usually do it because I'm working on it constantly. So right now I'm gonna take this, and this is my base, and I'm gonna put the back up there. So I cut out a piece, and this piece is the same length, 14 inches, and goes up 10 inches high. And so I made this 11 inches so I could have a 10 inch deep. So it's gonna sit like that. So real quick, let me pull it up so you guys can see how high it's gonna look. Alright, so here goes with the furnace, and I wanted to see on space how it was gonna be, so I measure it out and I draw on there usually how high it is and all that. So I wanted to do the side walls, so the side walls are gonna be like this and like this, and then we'll have Freddy himself standing in here. So that is the height. So you look around, it's about the height, and it's a pretty good. I would like it to go longer, but I like these to fit in detofs, the IKEA detofs that I have. So I figured making it that size to build it. Right now, next what I do is I chopped up all the sides. So you see all this, trying to get it ready to be black washed. So I still got to do a whole bunch of breaking up, and the same thing with this side. And I decided that I was gonna do it half and half. The bottom half being cement and the top half being brick, and it will be on all sides with pipes going through. So let me show you guys that. So for the back, this is what I ended up doing. This is how it looks so far. I marked where the wall is coming to on the left side and the right side. And I chopped this up because originally I was gonna have only the wall come from right here and break down, and so there would be nothing here. But for the pipes, I wanted the pipes to go all the way across, so that's why I said screw it, this will be fine still. And with this, what I did is I lined up everything. I went to where the brick is gonna go, and what I do is I take my see-through one. This is why I like the see-through one, and I just line it all up. And if you can see, it lines up perfect with this line, so every two it lines up perfect with it. So I'm able to just slice right across and do it. So that's why I like using this, because you can line it up with using the ruler as you're doing it to try getting it more precise. And same thing when you're doing this. When you're doing this, they're all lined up right there. And they're lined up right here, so that meant I cut there. And then I do it again. It's lined up there. See how it's lined up with that cut underneath there, and then that's where I cut right there along there. So I do it every other one for bricks. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then I take the razor and I just slice it across and make every single line. And then after that I score it. I usually use a pencil, a rounded off pencil. Don't use a sharp pencil. Sometimes I have other tools that I like to use. I think this is like a scorer, so I use this sometimes just to, so you just push it up against there to make the lines thicker. So you want these lines to pop out, because when we black wash it, you want to make sure the black wash gets in there. So this is the backdrop of it. So this is how it's gonna look on the back standing up. And then the side I did the same thing too. Cut across, lined them up. This still isn't done. I gotta put more detail in it, so I'll end up putting lines in it and breaking different ones. I made a little tool from somebody that I seen on, it was YouTube. It's a tool to push these in, so I gotta find that in a second to push them in. So I'm gonna push some bricks in, I'm gonna rip some bricks out, cut some out, so I'll show you what I mean. So right now I'm gonna just break a couple bricks and I'll show you. So I just so it's enough to get the, you see how that's broke? That's just enough to get the black wash in there. So you don't want to go too deep with the bricks, and you don't want to do every single one, of course. And remember, you mess up, there's gonna be mess ups sometimes. And remember, this is not everything gonna be perfect, and a lot of the stuff you can actually hide the defects. You can hide the defects of them by doing different things. So let's say right here with this one, I'm like, I didn't want it like that. Sometimes you can just pop that little piece out, so like the brick was broken. Just like that. So the brick is broken on that one. Then over here, take this brick away. All together. So just pop that brick out. So it's more sharper edge, like the brick fell off. I'm about to go to the store and get me some more razors for some of mine. So I got a couple broken off. there, and then I just go along these and just make the edges more rigid so it looks like the brick is actually broken. So I don't want it to be fine edges. So see, none has to be perfect because this is gonna be a beat up, especially it's gonna be a Freddy Krueger scene, so there's gonna be a lot of breaks and all that. And we can even take away some. So just, let's try doing it real quick. So I'm gonna cut this deep. I'm gonna cut it diagonal, try getting in there, and stick it in deeper. I always practice safety. I shouldn't be cutting towards my hand, but I'm going real slow, so just make sure you're safe. So pop this one out. So here goes the one brick, and now I'm just gonna clean this side. I'll clean that side a little bit, and then with this one we could leave it like this, like it's beaten up, or you can really pop this one and do something like that, where the brick is really sticking out. Kind of like that look, but I also like that look, so not bad. So for now I'm just gonna leave it off because I'll be painting it different, painting them separate anyways. And like I said, with the edges, there's really no 100% with how it's done. Just beat them up, make sure they're beat up. So just take off chunks. So I take off chunks like that. And then right here we can, let's do a straight break. See, so I didn't want this one to be so straight. So since I made the straight part right there, I'm making a break in the wall right there even more. I like mine. To each his own. You do whatever you feel you like, man. So with me, these, I don't want it like this right here. I accidentally did that, so I'm gonna do something to that and maybe make it like cut it a little deeper or something like that, just to make it look spacing. So just cut it big in that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'll connect this. Let me pull off that piece, make a little sharp corner right there. So from this corner right here, I'll just so, like I said, just little breaks in the wall. Can even separate it. There we go, because it's going to be a basement, a furnace, you know, a furnace room. So next, what I do, I gotta make some indentations in here, and I got a rock for that I usually use. So let me find that real quick, and then I'll show you the process of how I do that. And I'm also gonna continue with this and go through cutting up a little bit more and do the same to this wall and the other wall, so you guys see the process of what I do and how I crack the different ones. Just really go with the flow, cut it how you feel, and then we'll get it. Just we got to get everything ready for black wash. So next will be the indentations. Now with this one, like I said, the brick, it's all flat and everything. I will go through in little spots, you know, break up certain spots. But right now, so this is my rock. It can be any type of rock, not any type of rock. One that has different edges. This isn't even the main one I use. And what we'll do is we're just gonna keep on, we're gonna make indentations. So I'm gonna crush and make the different indentations of the rock to show where on the brick. And it'll be everywhere, really. Just want to make those little spots, because when we black wash it and paint over it, these little spots in certain instances will shine through and give us a cool effect. And then you can even, so like you see how mine it has a little corner point, you can even take it and I smash down a brick, so that one goes deep down in, so that's all messed up. So you see how it gives that beat up wear and tear all throughout it, and you can give it as much as you want. And with this, it's really, and see, and this is where you can, those little spots that you don't like, you can make little divots and everything to try hiding them, just like that. And just beat up so it's all beat up a little bit. I don't know, I might want it more beat up than this, just because this is a Freddy Krueger diorama. So since it's a Freddy Krueger diorama, you want it to have it looking grimy. And there goes beat up wall. And you just do that. I'm gonna do that to this one. This one. Once I cut the spots in them, and then I'll also do it a little bit to the floor, so the floor isn't just gonna be a flat, you know, flat. So I'm gonna finish cutting this up, and then I will be getting to the black wash. After scoring everything and cutting some things out, and making some, let me try getting in there so you guys can see, making holes and everything, trying to make this an old wall. So I'm gonna have different things going, and I was thinking about maybe I might beat this up a little bit more, but just wanted to show you guys where I was at. So I have the crack in the foundation and cracks over here that I did. So next step is the process of me putting in the magnets to hold it up. So I went through and I pre-cut, so you seen that just fell down. So you see those holes right there. I already pre-cut some real quick, and I'm using these round magnets. So I got 2. So what I do is, you see that hole there. Let me put this up on the stand real quick. First, I find out where I want to put the magnet at and where I want it to connect to the bottom board to make sure they're even. So I stand them up and make sure they're in the right spot. So I'll put the backing up, and then when I put the backing up, I line this up and put the magnet right where I want it to be. Sorry about that, guys. Right where I want it to be, and then I just push down hard on it. So you get the indentation on both sides, and then when I got the indentation on both sides, you'll get a little circle. I'll do it real quick, and you get that little circle. You see that circle, so you push it in till you see it enough for you visually. Then I go on the side that I'm not using, which would be the flat side, which is this side, and I line this up to be flat with the foam, and then I just push in, and then when you push in, you get the line right there. You see that line right there? You just take your razor and you carve out, you dig this a little deep, about as far as this in, and then you just stick it in, and like this right here, you see this one, this was as big as I made it, so I just put it in, and if you can see inside, then I put it in and just cut, and I cut like this and went all the way, and then popped it out, and it popped right out. And when you do that, the magnet will fit in there. And then you do that to every part, and then you'll get, so then it'll be magnetized. And I wanted to do this before I do the black wash, because I want to put hot glue in here and just hot glue these in. And first, what I'm gonna do is make sure when I put them down that the magnets aren't pushing off of each other. So I make sure that they're connected good together, and then I hot glue them in. So all you do is dab some hot glue in there and shove it in, and if you circle it like that where it fits in there tight, with between the hot glue and it fitting in there tight, it should be stuck in there real good, and you should be fine with that. So what you want to make sure you do again is remember to put it on the side that you're not using. You don't want to put it on the side that you have something else. Like if I did it on this side, it would be a beat up wall, so it's not that bad. You can see a little line right there, but other than that, it's not that bad. So now moving on, I'm gonna glue these real quick and see how it stands. Before I black wash it, like I said, I put the magnets in, and that's what I did to the back piece, so the magnets are all in there. Clicks on real good. So I cut the hole, of course, and slid it in from the side, and then I put hot glue in there, and then I just drop the magnet in. So I'm going with this side, doing this side, so I'll show you real quick on what I do. I try to make sure the magnet is connects with the other magnet as best as possible. So I'm gonna drop some hot glue in here real quick. you just drop a little bit in, dab, and it's gonna line up right here, and I pop it in. Be careful, it is hot. And I popped it in right there, so you see. And you're gonna do that to all of the holes, and then it should click. So now I gotta go do this hole and do the hole over here, and do so this one, and put it in on this one and the other one, and then I'll be done, and then it'll be going on. So let's move on to the black washing. And now we are gonna move to the black washing, which is just black paint with water. Depends on how you want to do it. You can put a lot of water. The more water you put, the longer it takes to dry up. And the reason you do that is so it's runny, so it can get in all the cracks that we've made, so we can get the best detail out of it. So let's get to black washing this. Alright, finished black washing the whole piece. So this is what it looks like together with it being black washed and the magnets all sitting. I tried getting everything flat. So far everything seems flat and to be sitting at the spot that it needs to be. And it actually turned out pretty nice. So I got a lot of the beat up walls and got everything that I wanted in, and like I said, I'm gonna go with a half cement, half brick for the diorama. Here goes the furnace piece sitting in there. So that's what it'll look like, as in space wise. And then my next move will be to, I also need to start for the pipes. I didn't put the holes in for the pipes, but I figured once I put the holes in, I'll be able to paint over it with a black, so that won't be too bad. So I'm gonna be putting the pipes going across. I gotta connect the pipe. I gotta connect the pipe to this piece to make it go across, and then I'll also be bringing pipes across on the back and through here to here. And I want it to look the best that it can, and right now I'm using straws and Connect straws for, I don't know if you guys ever seen the Connect straws for drinking, the crazy straws. So this is what the crazy straws, where it's Connect. You connect the straws and they have the bend. They have different ones like the bends, so it bends this, you know, to the right and everything. So those are the straws that I'm using. I bought those straws off of, I think it was eBay or Amazon, so you guys got to search those out, see where those are, or you can just use regular straws and do what you have to do. And I'll be also using the bigger straws. So like I put 2 smoothie straws, I think they were, together, and it's gonna be sitting, it'll be sitting like this, kind of going across. I figured I'm gonna leave it pink. No, I'm just playing with you guys. I'm gonna be painting those up, so I'm gonna be scratching the surface of these. So I'll be scratching the surface of these to let the paint adhere to it. So then I'm gonna be painting these black, starting off black, and then afterwards I'll do a steel, try to get in a steel look on it, and then a beat up, and then make it rusty in certain parts, and then that's when I'll be connecting it. And as for the floor, I don't know, I'm gonna probably make a table too. So let's move on to the next, and the next is I'm gonna start painting it. I'm gonna paint this concrete look, same thing with this, and then I'm gonna go with the red brick on this, on the top half. So let's move on. As of right now, I black washed the whole thing, as you can see, like I said, and then I started with the bottom half. So this is it all connected together. The bottom half, I started with going with a light gray. So a light gray, as you can see, like right here, and then afterwards I went with the pavement gray. Just went with splotches all over, did dry brushing on most of it, and all that to make it stand out. I'm still gonna add a little bit more color, but you can see where I'm going with it right now. So next, what I'm gonna do is the red brick. I want it to be a more darker brick, so I'm gonna start with these walls, and all I'm gonna do is dry brush them. So on to the next. Alright, I got the brick painted up. I painted the brick just 2 different tones of red, like 2 or 3 different tones of red. I just messed with it until I was happy, and there were some parts I was happy and some parts I weren't. But you see how the detail came out in the cracks from that black wash, so that was real nice. And this is what I got so far when I did it. I already put a couple pre-holes in it. So all I really did, all this was dry brushing. You dry brush until you get the color that you want. I left the black right there, and then I made a stain around it of where the furnace is gonna go, because furnace commits it gives heat, so it burnt the ground and everything like that, and I wanted to give that a little special effect. And a couple things that I did is that I added. So let's go through it slowly. I'll show you guys as I go along. Now, this is one pipe that I made. You see this pipe? So this pipe is gonna go up there, hanging up, and this pipe was made out of, it's just great value smoothie straws. You don't got no great no, I think it's Walmart or Pick and Save, one of those. But I got, these are the big thick smoothie straws. And for all the straws, what I do is you take the straw and I take sandpaper and I sand it down a little bit so you have something to adhere to the paint. And then I paint it all black. And then after painting in black, I choose a brown. So in this instance, I choose the brown, and I dry brush the brown on top of the black after the black dries, of course. And then this is the outcome you got. And with this one, I cut. So this is 2 of them, so that's the length of it. And so I cut one to squeeze it in here, and you see this little hole here, so I put rust around it to make it seem like it's a rusty part where the water's coming out a lot. So it's not hard to do at all. So let me put this in real quick for you guys to see as we go along. So that slides in there like that, pretty good. So you see the pipe right there. Then move to the next pipe. The next pipe that I got, just a different kind of one. Kind of the same thing, but this one is done with the flexible straws, another great value one. This was just from the store. So these straws are the Bendy Straws that you have. Sorry, let me light focus. So these are the ones that bend there. What I did is extended this one out and did the same thing, cut a piece to make it extend. And then this, see the extension there, so I just made it look like an extra piece of pipe for me. Nothing super grand, super special. Paint it black and then dry brush. And then this piece goes here. So that piece goes there. So got the effect of 2 pipes up there. That's what I wanted. And then I forgot. So the next thing that I built, this was for me, part of Diorama for it. I wanted to throw a table in there. So I got, so I made this beat up looking table. And with this table, this was just made from, this is wood slats. So I took one wood slat and I cut it to make it the size of this, but I also cut it so I could, and then with the other half I made this piece. And I don't know if you see it right there. Let me see if I can get it. Looks like a little mini nail. So it looks like a little mini nail right there, and then I just beat the wood up, scratched it up, painted it all black. Same thing with this. Painted it all black and went over it with a darker brown that I wanted to get. So with this table, with the legs, what I did was I took pieces of wood. So I have the pieces of wood that are about this long. You can find these at Walmart or whatever, just little pieces, and I cut them to the size of the leg that I want, and then I took the hot glue and I hot glued it together like that, and with that to make a leg. So I got the legs and then I hot glued the legs to this, so it actually turned out pretty good with how it looks beat up. So I put this table like right there, don't look bad. And then with this, that piece is actually a needle. So I take that one and I got a pre-spot for it right there. Get that pipe out the way real quick for you guys. Yep. So I slide it up in there. So I slide that wood piece up in there and it goes in there pretty good right there. And like I said, I just made that out of wood, and I'm gonna be putting some newspapers and wanted posters on there. Put whatever you want on there, that's what it is for. And all the pipes were made from were straws. And like I said, the wood slats don't cost really much, and it comes with multiples of them. They're pretty thick and they work well. Like I said, made these out of the legs. You could even use popsicle sticks probably if you wanted to. So let's move to the furnace. So the furnace, I added a little special piece. Now you see I added the pipe at the top. So you see this pipe right here. Let me take you in on it real quick. So this pipe right here that comes from the top, try getting it to look like it the most I could, and I got it busting. So then I'll add in the little piece over here. It looks like that. So a little rusted piece. I'll worry about that straw later. But the little busted piece, and it connects all the way over and onto there. So that's the furnace, the Freddy Krueger furnace. I don't know if you guys seen the unboxing of that. I did the unboxing to that. So for the little pipe, that pipe that's at the top, I'll show you real quick. I got another one that I made up. Now this one is going to be sitting over here, so I'm going to be putting this to the side, something like that, and be gluing it in there. Now what I did is I got these things called Connect Straws, and the Connect Straws, you might have seen them in other people's stuff. The Connect Straws come like this. It's hard plastic, and they come with little plastic pieces, so you can put this one in and then connect the straw right here, and then connect another straw, and that's why they were called crazy straws. They used to have them at Dollar Tree. They don't have them at Dollar Tree anymore. But with this one, all I did was again painted it black, then found the brown that I want for the rust. I painted the rust on there to make it look rusty. Now I did the same thing with this. I took the sandpaper, I sanded all of this down, and then painted it black. Now for this piece right here that you see, this piece right here, that long piece that's at the top that's connected to it, now all that is two straws with this piece right here. What I did was cut a hole in the bottom, which was hard as hell, cut a hole in the bottom right here and split it to go over it, and then connected these straws, painted these straws, connected these straws to go across. And then I painted it all black and used the same brown that I used for all the rust. You might have to go through a different couple browns. I think the brown that I used was melted chocolate, apple barrel, so it's pretty cheap. You can get these for 50 cents to $1 or something. So that's all I use for that. Like I said, cut a hole there and put it over and got it to fit over that, and that actually fit pretty well. You might still be able to find the crazy straws on eBay and everything like that. But so far, that's what I got going on, and that's about it for this diorama. There ain't much that I'm going to be adding besides the Freddy Krueger. I might be adding a little plate in front right here that's going to say Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street and everything like that. But we're going to see how that turns out. But so far, it really turned out nice, man. I like how it went. I can't wait to add the newspapers and the wanted signs. Make sure you guys look out on the Collection Dimension on Twitter or on the Facebook page, because I will be releasing a photo once I'm done with making the different newspapers and wanted signs, and then adding Freddy Krueger and all that stuff. And I still got to do my stencil on the back, but I added some cool stuff to this one. So to this one, I don't know if you guys seen, let me get it to go the other way real quick. Right there. So I added a little beat up on the added blood and scars and everything on the wall. And so the beat up turned out pretty nice. Try to get that black, that dark burnt feeling in the on the ground. That turned out real nice. How, and like, again, it's just dry brushing, just take your time in doing it. So that is how I built my Freddy Krueger diorama. Tell me what you guys did, if you guys built one for the furnace, or if you guys are planning on building this one, have any extra questions about it. Like I said, I'm gonna be putting that in so it's a permanent piece, but I gotta see how that's gonna go. And everything that you build, you guys create your own, man, so you could take this and twist it up. So I'm going to be finishing up the Freddy Krueger scene from the TV, where the TV's on the wall and he pulls her in. And the worm one, that's going to be an all-in-one scene. If you guys didn't catch the Pennywise scene, that diorama scene that I made, and the Jason one scene that I made a Jason scene and an Ash vs Evil Dead scene. That one turned out pretty dope too. Till next time, like always, man, this was the Dial Spot, man, trying to give you guys the best that we got. Like I said, you guys got any questions, leave them in the comments. Till next time, we're out. Peace.